Tonight on The Local Live, the Mamaroneck Teachers Association came out in full force at the last school board meeting over contract issues. Westchester's proposed 2019 budget is unveiled as the county loses its AAA rating. See how some neighbors fared in this year's turkey trot. And on tonight's roundtable, the Community Resource Center is here to talk about celebrating 20 years servicing the community. Good evening. It's Thursday, November 29th. I'm Sibylla Chipaziwa, your anchor, and welcome to The Local Live. We hope you all had a happy and safe Thanksgiving with loved ones and are back into the swing of things. Dozens of members of the Mamaroneck Teachers Association, or MTA, rallied in front of the high school before the board meeting on Tuesday evening. MHS's tiered classroom was over capacity as members filled the seats and aisles to show support for their organization's president, Janet Knight, who spoke at the start of the meeting.
As you know, we are now in our third year working under an expired contract. During that time, the MTA has negotiated in good faith in an attempt to reach a settlement that is fair to all. We have remained true to our high level of professionalism. Our members have successfully implemented every new initiative the district has offered, and in some cases have taken the lead in developing new programs. Members of the board, while we appreciate your respect and praise, we need and deserve more tangible recognition. We have now worked 3 years without a cost of living wage increase. Approximately 30% of our teachers and nurses have received no increase at all. With rising inflation and healthcare contribution rates, many are actually making less today than they did 3 years ago. Our teaching assistants, who work with those students most in need of support, have seen their salaries freeze at 2015 rates. Top pay for these essential staff members is less than $30,000 a year. They are not even eligible for family health insurance. We understand the demands on the district and the community. We have always been willing to work with the district to reach a compromise. In the 2011 contract negotiations, the MTA agreed to 3 years of 0% wage increases and 2 years of step freezes, giving up hard-earned salary increases. These concessions had lifelong effects on our careers and our families. We made these sacrifices for the good of the district and the community. Members of the board, it is time for you, too, to step up so that we may put these protracted negotiations behind us. The MTA looks forward to the upcoming mediation sessions. We have consistently demonstrated a willingness to work with the district to reach a fair settlement. We ask that you, the leaders of this outstanding district, do the same. I am certain that when you are ready, we will reach a fair agreement that is in the best interest of all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another highlight from Tuesday's meeting, the school board unanimously voted to pass the proposed capital bond, a grand total of $49.7 million. The next step is the community vote scheduled for February 5th, 2019. County Executive George Latimer released his proposed 2019 operating budget, totaling $1.9 billion, an increase of around 5.5% from 2018's budget. Meanwhile, the financial rating firms downgraded the county from last year's AAA bond rating to this year's AA+ bond rating.
Westchester County Executive George Latimer has released his plans and proposal for his new 2019 operating budget.
This is a complicated county government. It's a $1.8 billion operation. I'm very mindful of the revenue realities of things. Westchester County taxpayers pay high property taxes, and they don't want to pay a lot more. So we begin the process knowing that we have a state tax cap, and we have to honor that tax cap. We have no intention to break the cap. We have no intention to have a high single-digit tax rate. We're trying to deliver what we can within a very narrow window.
In a press conference held earlier this month, Latimer promised to continue funding vital services for county residents while remaining within the state property tax cap following new adjustments.
We've imposed a hiring freeze. We will make some exceptions on it where we have a director of department or a commissioner of a department. But in general, we have a hiring freeze that we've imposed to stop and stabilize where we are. That we expect will be lifted at the period of time that we expect will happen early in the new year, possibly the end of January, beginning of February, when we expect to find a number of individuals who will submit retirement papers.
Latimer's office has been eager to stick towards decision-making that will provide positive outcomes with financial agencies. However, last week, Westchester County was notified by S&P and Fitch that the county's financial outlook has been downgraded to a AA+ from its AAA rating. Moody's report assigned Westchester to a AA1 rating.
So I view it as pragmatism. We want to have strong environmental protection in this budget. We want to have a strong police presence in this budget. We want to be able to invest in our capital infrastructure, but we can't do all of it. And we certainly can't anchor ourselves to an ideology that puts one thing above all else. We want to be able to make pragmatic decisions right now and explain to the people of Westchester County where we are, what we're doing this year, how this fits into multiple years, and why this makes sense.
Latimer vowed, quote, "We are going to right this ship. My goal is to have the county's AAA bond rating by Moody's, S&P, and Fitch returned before I leave office. But we are going to have to face up to the necessity of tough choices in the days ahead," end quote. Thank you, Maral Kathwari, for the report. There will be a town hall meeting on the county's proposed budget led by Westchester Board of Legislators Majority Leader Catherine Parker on Tuesday, December 4th at 7:30 p.m. in the town of Mamaroneck courtroom. The village of Mamaroneck courtroom was the place to be last night. That's if you were curious about New York State's open meetings and freedom of information laws, also known as FOIL. Bob Freeman, the executive director of the New York State Committee on Open Government, answered quite a few interesting questions. Even Hillary Clinton and Ivanka Trump's emails were brought up. Here's a look at his answer to an interesting question about executive sessions.
We had a resident come to the board with a complaint about the police enforcement of a 4th of July community party they were having. He was told that the Board of Trustees had had convened as police commissioners and gone into executive session. At that meeting, he asked the board what the discussion was about. What did you find out? I'm interested in why there was such a reaction to our party. He was told the discussion we had with the police chief was in reaction to your comments you made at the last meeting, in that we wanted to understand a bit more. That was an executive session where we are not permitted to tell you what we discussed.
Whoever said that?
That's why we are not saying anything, because legally we are not permitted to have that discussion in public.
First of all, an executive session is defined by law to mean a portion of an open meeting during which the public may be excluded. Every meeting has to be preceded by notice of the time and place. Now, assuming that the village board acts as the board of police commissioners or whatever, that too would be a public body covered by the open meetings law. The meeting, in my opinion, should have been preceded by notice. It was, okay. It has to be convened open to the public. From there, if there's a basis for entry into executive session, the procedure that we just described should be followed. The open meetings law says that a board may enter into an executive session to discuss certain issues. It doesn't have to. What if there's a valid basis for going into an executive session? Somebody wants to discuss the employment history of the who knows what, a village employee. If the board wants to go into an executive session, it may choose to do so. But there's no requirement that it must. If they want to discuss so-and-so's performance in public, they can do that. They can do that. So there is nothing inherently confidential about an executive session. And generally speaking, there's no law that would forbid disclosure of what transpires during an executive session. Now, there is an exception, in my opinion, that might have applied in your situation. If I do something wrong on the job, and there's a record that indicates that I have engaged in misconduct, I have violated a rule, it's public. It's public. It's public. But if I'm a cop, it's not. It's not. It's not because there is, in my opinion, an incredibly awful provision of law on the books, Section 50A of the state civil rights law, and it says that personnel records that are used to evaluate performance toward continued employment or promotion pertaining to police and correction officers are confidential. Cannot be disclosed unless the cop or correction officer chooses to disclose, or if a court orders disclosure. So what we're left with is a situation in which those public employees who have the most power over people's lives are the least accountable. It's backwards. We've been trying to change that for years and years and years, but you know, the state legislature is chicken when it comes to dealing with public employee unions especially.
If you'd like to watch the forum in full, make sure you visit lmctv.org/videos to see this and other municipal meetings. Now, onto the Rhinebeck School District, where the smoking prohibition on campus grounds has been expanded to include e-cigarettes and various tobacco and nicotine products. This comes after studies showing the use of e-cigarettes by youth and young adults increasing in recent years. A 2015 survey showed that more than a quarter of students in grades 6 through 12 used such products. Earlier this month, the FDA banned the sale of the Juul company's favorite e-cigarette products in stores to reduce teen vaping. In tonight's roundtable, Maura Collins sits down with Girandi Martinez and Janet Rolon to talk about the 20-year anniversary of the Community Resource Center.
Welcome to the Roundtable. I'm Maura Carlin. Tonight our guests are Girandi Martinez and Janet Rolon, the Executive Director and Deputy Executive Director of the Community Resource Center. The CRC, as it's known, is celebrating its 20th anniversary. First established in 1988 as the Hispanic Resource Center, the organization began as a community initiative and has become a leading provider of services to nearly 4,000 adults and children annually. So for those not familiar with the CRC, and thank you for joining us, can you tell us a little bit more about what the organization does?
Sure. So as you mentioned, the organization, the Community Resource Center, empowers and advocates for the new immigrant community and low-income community. And we do that through social services, educational programs, and job readiness programs. So that's essentially our mission.
And do you work with governmental entities?
We do. We have a lot of community partners, ranging from MVP Healthcare to Westchester Community College to Southern Westchester BOCES. We work with the Mexican Consulate. We have an array of partnerships that come in to help us do our work, because it takes a village, and we're really proud that we've built these partnerships to increase our services across the county for 20 years.
So you're now servicing across the county, not just the Larchmont Mamaroneck community.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now 20 years is a long time. What initiative, services, or growth are you most proud of? I know you weren't there, but most proud of the organization doing over those 20 years?
Sure. Well, so Janet and I have been a part of the organization 15 years and 10 years. I'll say one and then Janet can say one. I would say acquiring our building through anonymous donors is one of our proudest moments, because we are now housed in a kind of a one-stop hub with the Larchmont Mamaroneck Hunger Task Force with the food pantry and the Head Start program. So we were able to continue those services, those programs, and then our programs. This acquiring of the building is really one of our biggest accomplishments so far.
Another, biggest accomplishment is to expand our case management department, and we have done that with the help of interns, volunteers, private attorneys. Especially in 2015, we created a legal program to provide legal services for the immigrant community.
Now, are those legal services beyond immigration? Are there other legal services you're
It's
involved in?
mainly immigration, but we also do referrals, and we partner with other organizations that provide services with family law, for example, also labor law. So we are very proud of that because we haven't been able to do it without the help of partners, but also volunteers who give us their time and to represent clients, facing injustices.
Now, you must be also very proud of 20 years, and you're having a gala next Thursday, December 6th. Why don't you tell us a little about that?
Yes, so it's our 20th anniversary gala where we turned 20. We're celebrating this year at Beach Point Club, and we're used to celebrating at Larchmont Shore Club, but this year it's Beach Point Club because we want to honor our legacy, our growth. We also want to thank Jonathan Grayer for underwriting the event. It's a wonderful gift to us, and it's going to be lovely. There's dancing, there's Latino food, and we're going to hear from our families and really honor all of the work that we've done for 20 years.
Now, the CRC is also honoring Reverend Dr. Bill Crawford. He's the retired senior pastor of Larchmont Avenue Church, and we at LMC TV know and love him. He is the Reverend of the Reverend and the Rabbi for Faith and Eggs, at least until his retirement. But he's also been involved in so much more, like the Community Resource Center. So why don't you tell us why he was chosen to receive your Amigo Award?
Yes, Reverend Bill Crawford served on our board for 15 years, and because of his activism, and we love him so much, of course the community loves him so much, his activism in the community for immigrant justice and social justice is why we want to honor him. The Amigo Award is a friend award, so it's a highest honor that we can give is that you are our friend and we recognize you standing by us and fighting with us for immigrant justice. And he's our only honoree this year because he's worth that much attention. And we're so happy that everybody's coming out to celebrate with him. There's still time to come and,
Yes, so
and
tell
join
us,
us.
people can still attend. How? What do they have to do?
Go on our website,
Yes.
Which is?
www.crcny.org. Click on the invitation. The first thing you'll see is our invitation. Click on it, and then that'll take you to a donation link. You can also send us a check for the donations if you don't want to pay the administrative fee, and that's totally fine. We take checks to 134 Center Avenue, Mamaroneck, New York.
What is the amount if you want to attend the gala? How much is it?
It's $225
Per person.
Per person. It's a sit-down dinner, which is different than a lot of what we've done before. There's going to be, a cocktail hour and music and dancing, so it's worth coming and enjoying with us.
So maybe I won't be here next week. I'll be out with you. How do people who may or may not want to go to the gala but want to get involved or donate, what should they do?
Well, maybe they can, connect with us. They can call our main number, which is 914-835-1512. We also have, our offices are open to the public. They can come in and inquire for volunteer, positions. But anything that they can get involved, they can just come to our offices.
Are there particular kinds of volunteers you're looking for or in need of right now?
Yes, we need ESL instructors. And because right now, there's more people who really want to learn the English language, and our capacity of volunteers is getting shortened in that sense. So if you want,
What qualifications do you need to be an ESL teacher? Do you need to be a certified teacher?
No,
So-
we will train you. We will train you to be a teacher. You do not have to have a TESOL. Just a willingness to learn and a commitment of at least 2 semesters so that we can be consistent with our students. And we have a group of volunteer teachers that really get involved, and we have teacher meetings, so the training comes really easily.
And I guess just the passion to teach
Yes.
other people.
So again, give the information about the December 6th gala to go to your website.
www.crcny.org. Click on the invitation, and all the information's there.
Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck at the gala.
Thank you.
And you stay tuned for more community stories. They'll be coming right up after this message.
I watch The Local Live so that I can ask questions about my community.
Caller, go ahead.
I watch so I can find out what's going on the go.
Because I catch up at any time, from anywhere, and see any show.
Shh! You tell us, we air it. This is The Local.
And here's what's happening around town this weekend to get you into the holiday spirit. St. Thomas Episcopal Church is holding its annual Christmas fair on Saturday, December 1st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There will be a silent and live auction, a cafe offering breakfast and lunch, more food such as baked goodies, and various items on sale to complete your holiday shopping needs. Visit St. Thomas's website on your screen now for more information. The Village of Mamaroneck Art Council is holding its 8th annual Arts and Crafts Fair on Saturday, December 1st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Mamaroneck Public Library. Expect one-of-a-kind works from local artists and craftspeople, totaling 36 vendors, where you can find a unique gift or two for the holidays at this free fair. For more information, visit the Arts Council Facebook page on your screen now. The Larchmont Police Benevolent Association and Professional Firefighters Association will host the village's 5th annual Light Up Larchmont, also on Saturday, December 1st from 3 to 6 p.m. at Constitution Park, rain, snow, or shine. Santa Claus will make an appearance for photos. There will be local choirs and bands performing festive tunes, hot cocoa, and more, with the main event, lighting up the 25-foot Christmas tree. Visit the event's Facebook page, details on your screen now, for more information. And on the next day, December 2nd, the Village of Mamaroneck will light up its own tree at Harbor Island Park from 3:45 to 6 p.m. Mr. and Mrs. Claus will stop by to say hello for photos. There will be hot dog roasting, a holiday ornament giveaway, and more. For more information, visit the Village of Mamaroneck's Recreation Department's Facebook page. The link is on your screen now. And if you're looking for anything interesting happening outside the community, the 2nd annual Yonkers Wine and Food Fest is on December 2nd from noon to 5 p.m. Expect wine, of course, unique spirits, a car show, food demos, and more. For more information and to buy your tickets, visit the link on your screen now.
LMC Cast.
The whole system is fine. All right, cool. I definitely would recommend doing podcasts if you are someone that likes to get something off the chest, or you want to just talk about anything in the world that just might interest you. Podcast here at LMC TV is amazing.
I hope you're listening out there.
Here are the best moments from the 52nd annual Turkey Trot and Gobbler Race, which took place on Sunday, November 18th at Harbor Island Park.
This is another beautiful day in the Village of Mamaroneck. This is the race that starts off the holiday season. It's a time for us to get to know each other, to do something outside before winter sets in. I know you're all getting anxious to go. We're going to be having, I'm going to blow this horn in 1 minute to give you an opportunity to get started. But until then, just stay limber. I've been waiting to do this my whole life, to tell you the truth. On your marks, get set.
We want to thank the whole team at the Recreation Department and the Parks Department. We want to thank the Police Department and the Fire Department and the EMS, everyone with WECA, everyone who made today's race safe for you and possible. We're very grateful to them. Thank you also to Matt Lewis and the New Row Runners who assisted us with registration. Eric Turkowitz, our turkey. Thank you for leading our race. We're very grateful to you every year showing up. Thank you to our volunteers, the DeBrain family, Students for Senegal, who did a fabulous job helping at the finish line also. Thank you.
Worked with LMC TV since 2012, and it's really changed my life.
I had absolutely no idea how to make a video. And then I had this light bulb go off and I thought, LMC TV, that's the place I need to be.
You know, LMC TV has been amazing. We have been able to dive into our creative ventures, really dive in.
We shot our first half of our film back in May, and it was the most amazing weekend, like one of those moments in my life that I will never forget.
I actually count so much on LMC TV because they do free PSAs, they cover a lot of our news stories.
Without a local newspaper to keep us abreast of what's going on, LMC TV is really our main outlet to know what's happening all throughout our community.
So it's just a small example of how much we can do together and what you could do when you use your resources in your community. And I just encourage everybody to seek LMC TV out, work with their staff, work with their interns because they're incredible and they always show up.
It's kind of crazy because I would go in there and think, how is it that the whole world is not using this incredible resource?
If you miss a school board meeting, a town or village board meeting, if you miss an event that your child was in, such as a band concert, a school play, or a sports event, you can go to lmctv.org, click on the event, and you can watch it at your own convenience.
I'd like to thank you so much, LMC TV, for the opportunities you've given me and for making my life much more sweet to live. So thank you so much.
Thank you for everyone who has funded, generously donated. We are gracious recipients of those donations. Thank you so much, LMC TV. We love you.
What a valuable resource. Please donate today.
We love hearing from our viewers. Please send us all emails, comments, inquiries, news tips, pictures, videos to thelocallive@lmctv.org. Remember, if you missed Thursday's live broadcast, you can catch replays of The Local Live twice a day on this channel and find story clips on our YouTube channel. Be sure to also follow us on Facebook, where we stream live every Thursday night, and keep an eye out for some unique content. We would like to wish our viewers who celebrate a happy Hanukkah. Thank you for watching The Local Live. I'm Sibylla Chipaziwa, and we will see you next week. Good night.